Data Voyagers.
For many people, data and AI can feel like a foreigner tongue full of acronyms, technical jargon, and concepts that seems reserved for specialists. But just like any language, fluency is possible when you start with the fundamentals, practice consistently, and embrace the culture behind it. Welcome to Data Voyages podcast, navigating the stories behind the numbers. I'm Igor Alcantara. Oi, pessoal. And I'm here with my friend, fellow Click ambassador, and co-host of this podcast, Angelika Klidas. Angelika, thanks for being here.
Hey, hi Igor, and hi Priscilla, and welcome everybody again. Hoi allemaal in Dutch to this amazing show. Yeah, Igor, we have something exciting, right?
Yes. So today we joined by a special guest. It's her second time in our podcast actually, and she just launched a new book, and it's all about what we'll be discussing today: data fluency and AI. The title in Portuguese is Fluência em Dados e IA. I hope my Portuguese is still good, fluent. So together we'll unpack what literacy in data and AI matters, not just for analytics and scientists, but for leaders, decision makers, anyone who wants to thrive in a world shaped by intelligent systems. And so, Angelika, would you mind introducing our guest?
Of course, my friend, my dear friend Priscila Paolinelli. Papazisis, that's also a name. De Jesus, I know,
Yes.
but Priscilla is one of my friends from for a few years already. We knew each other very only briefly through online sessions, and we met at the edge of the amazing Grand Canyon in Phoenix when we were with Click Connect in Vegas. I was consuming the amazing surroundings by the Grand Canyon, and then somebody tapped my back and said, "Angelika," and here she is, my fellow Click woman who clicks, but also a fellow educator ambassador. She's a Click luminary. We have this deep love for data and AI literacy, and yeah, cool, Igor. So I'm so happy that she's here.
Great.
Priscilla.
So, Priscilla, thanks for coming here. So, you like to introduce yourself, and we're here to talk about your book. So, you want to talk about it before we um, deep dive into that?
Okay. So thanks for the invitation. Thanks. It's a pleasure to talk to you both. So I'm Priscilla. Today I'm the head of analytics for a international steel tube company. And I have this passion to educate people. So since the beginning of my career, I have, let's say, this double career to work in the market in a, let's say, a company, a formal company, and to be a teacher in the university. So today I am a university teacher in Brazil, in Belo Horizonte, the city I live, and working with data for the last 20 years. So for me, it's really a pleasure to talk to you both.
Great. So we about to get started, but before we begin, just a very quick word from our sponsor. This episode of the Data Voyagers podcast is brought to you by IPC Global. We just released a brand new white paper, In Plain Sight: Why Analytics Efforts Fail. Too often, organizations assume that if they build dashboards, users will automatically come. The reality? Up to 80% of analytics projects end up as expensive shelfware that nobody adopts. Our white paper breaks down the most common mistakes, like mistaking access for adoption, over-governing users, or designing without understanding real workflows, and shows how an adoption first strategy can turn analytics from decoration into true decision making power. If you want to understand why so many analytics initiatives underperform, and more importantly, how to make yours succeed, download Why Analytics Efforts Fail today at ipc-global.com. With IPC Global, adoption isn't an afterthought, it's the foundation of success. Priscilla, let me start with I think what I think should be the first question. What was the main motivation to write this book?
So my, let's say, main motivation is to bridge the gap between technical experts and business professionals. I have been working for these 20 years for many different companies, healthcare companies, car rental companies, industry companies. And let's say the main thing that I was thinking when starting to write was how to bridge this gap between these two teams. So sometimes I see a very talented people with great ideas who felt excluded by these data discussions. And it's more important now when we are discussing about artificial intelligence. So I wanted to create some kind of practical guide that would make this data literacy accessible to everyone, regardless the background. I can say that Angelika helped me a lot on this journey because I started to study about data literacy in 2018, and at this time I found her on the internet, on the LinkedIn, with the book Data Literacy in Practice. So I saw my prayers come true because we don't have, and we don't have it today, a lot of papers, books in written in Portuguese. So I can say that my book is the second in the Brazilian market. So we need this kind of inspiration. We need this kind of material because not everyone in the country understands English or speaks. So it's important too because of this lack on the market.
Yeah, so that's the reason why you brought it into the Portuguese market, right? Or the Brazilian Portuguese market. And I remember when we first started our discussions, you always said, with the book in your hand, Angelika, you and your book Data Literacy gave me voice. And can you help me to understand what you, and our listeners, of course, what you mean by that, saying that?
That's because when I started to search about this topic, that's because I was coordinator of an analytics team. We developed a lot of click dashboards. And on that time, we had more than 100 dashboards developed, and with all the information on the data lake, all the metrics, all the rules described in a business intelligence portal. And in the end of the day, people wanted to use the Excel files, the way they did the things before. They didn't believe a lot on the data. So I was really thinking how to organize something that I didn't know what it was, but to make people believe more and trust in the data and see that a governed data was better than maybe to use that Excel spreadsheet, to get out from the comfort zone. So I was trying to find a way to put these ideas in practice. So when I found your book, it's, oh my God, it's not just me. I'm not crazy. That there is really something that can help people that has different backgrounds. On that time, I worked for a health insurance company. So all the executives were physicians. So how to make these people that doesn't have this background look to the data, to the numbers, and really believe and really trust that it can help them to take better decisions. So this is the voice.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really like it. Yeah, I really like it. Sorry, can I ask one more question, Igor?
just a
Sorry.
quick comment. I usually say that there are three things certain in life: death, taxes, and the user will want to export to Excel.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
This is the I want to make a shirt to can I export to Excel? So yes.
That's it, right? That's it, and I really like it. I'm trying to read the book with my Google Lens or making a photo and putting it into ChatGPT or Copilot. But if you would summarize the book, and I believe it's a very difficult question because I think from my book I could not try to make it in one sentence. But if you had to summarize it back to one sentence, what would you say to the public?
It's possible to use data and AI. It's not a monster that you cannot understand or discuss with, because one of the competencies of who is data literate is to argument with data. And sometimes we see that the person will freeze in front of the numbers. Oh my God, what I do now with it? So
I remember. Yeah, what I always try to do at this moment is right, guys, be creative, be innovative, but please be critical. And I think that's the key message that we both, and we, the three of us, because even Igor is also a data literacy specialist, and this is what we have to practice, I think. So if you look at the book, who did you have in mind when, as a target audience, when you were writing this book?
So I tried to write it to everyone because, as I mentioned, I worked a lot with different people from different areas with different backgrounds. And the main thing is to bring this, let's say, business language to something that people sometimes think it's not for them. So when discussing with these health professionals and trying to make them understand that yes, they could use data to decide and to bring another vision of the process, I understood that we cannot deliver just the numbers, just the graphs, just the algorithms, because they will block. So to trust in something that can make your day different, we really need to explain in the way they will be able to consume. So I always say that more on the artificial intelligence era, that is something that we are living now. We need the let's say the soft skills are still more important to think in a critical way, to understand the results, to understand if it's applicable or not, if we have bias on the data or not. So this is even more important than the technical background. We have data engineers, we have data analysts, we have people that were prepared to deal with the technology, but the business we will use, and if they then don't understand, this product serves to anyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that is great. Now, continue on the book. It's for a different audience, different target audience, as you described. But let's take one specific type of people. Let's say it's someone it is a beginner in data fluency, data literacy. If you have to describe one key principle that the person should remember, what would be that key principle?
I think to stay curious and don't be afraid to ask questions, because data literacy is a journey, and every question helps you learn and grow. So maybe you can see that number and you understand that it doesn't matter anything for your process. But if you ask an additional question about that number, and when you open it in many, let's say, dimensions, probably this data will show you something. So that's the reason that I mentioned that it's more important to be curious, to continue to ask questions, to learn about how to deal with the technology.
Yeah. And if you look at the game changers in this current field of tools and data and AI, which emerging tool or technology do you see as a real game changer for organizations?
Angelika, this is a very difficult question.
I know.
Because today what we have most, it's good platforms that we can use, and we can translate all these things in solutions, in prescriptions. So we are really well served of technology, but I believe the ones that transform this natural language and the non-structured data we have in something structured. We have a lot of papers that mention that all the companies has more than 80% of data unstructured, and the diamonds are there. We have to discover. So to me, it's how to the technologies that will allow us to organize all of this data that we have available today, and really bring the perception of how to improve the business using all of these things.
Yeah, you can see there is a variety of tools, and the true power of natural language processing using the large language models in the variety of tools that there are. First of all, I think it's very cool that this is happening. That I'm at an age that I feel still have to run to keep up with the changes that are there. But I really love to work with those kind of tools, and find the flaws, but also the strength, and talk about it. I'm working for a big company at this moment as a project manager, but also as a trainer and advisor. And we see finally a growth in adopting the new technology. So that's very, very cool. How do you follow up with the adoption, for example, with the company that you are currently working for? The adoption of AI elements.
Yes, we started the discussions mainly for generative AI 1 year ago, because it's important to be outside of this conversation. But we have a lot to do in terms of data quality, data processing, as we are a global company, connecting different regions that do different things with the data. So I always say that our challenges remain the same for at least the years I'm working with that, because we still struggle on data quality, on data governance, the principles. We still have to work on that a lot. And sometimes I was discussing this today. We see a number on the dashboard and we say we are business, and we say this number is wrong. But no, the number is not wrong. The number is the result of what your process with your data. So this is an effort that is combined. Is systems, data plus business. So sometimes data literacy will come to help these groups to understand what is the role of each one, because everybody needs to participate.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. It's very difficult. I see the same. I see growth. We use the platform admin user to look at the number of active users and the usage per day, but also we can see the amount of prompts entered into the system. So it's very, very cool how we can monitor that. Practice what you preach is then my goal in this time. So you know me, and you know that my personal opinion is that AI literacy is a subset of data literacy, an advanced subset, because you can't have AI literacy without data literacy. How do you see this, and why is it important?
I
It's
agree.
something, yeah, it's a difficult question, I know, but
Yes, but we have the same ideas around this topic. So I agree, AI literacy is built inside the data literacy. We need to understand data before we can understand AI, because AI fundamentally is about using data to make predictions, to automate tasks. So for me, it's even more necessary because we have the complexity of the AI models and a lot to discuss about the implementation and the regulation that we have behind everything. We cannot use a model that we cannot explain the result. So I don't know. I talk with a lot of people that thinks that is just implement the technology and okay, I don't have to do anything else. But it's the opposite. When we create one product using AI, we need to guarantee a lot of things and guarantee that we will follow this product, understand this product day by day, because when we have new processes happening, new customer, new products being created, the AI model can change its behavior. So it's not a system that you implement and forget. So it's something that we need to understand and business needs to understand. So
yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed when talking to companies, and actually one of the key things that I do is work with customers, like to increase adoption and all of kind of that, and like data, understanding data, and I see data literacy as like data as a language, with its own rules, grammar, the kind of stuff, and it's important. Is like for us in Brazil and in Latin America in general, like English was the business language in the 20th century. Now, the language for the 21st century is data. But a lot of people, they see that, oh, it's so complicated. I need to have a PhD in statistics and the kind of that, but not really. So my question is, how can someone that does not have the technical background and even say, oh, I don't like math, I don't like any of that, still become data and AI literate?
yeah, maybe 4 years ago, I would answer this question in a different way. But today, it's about surviving on this new age. So, of course, some people should have more barriers than others when adopting this kind of thing. But if you go to a meeting and then you see a number there that you answer for that number, you answer for that process, and you really don't know how it was organized, how is the behavior of your process, these people probably will lose space on our market. That independently of the company, it's happening. We had AI put in our hands 2 years and a half ago, so it's not something that it's far away. We still have other examples of AI that came to our life many years ago in our watches, in the way we consume the products, the movies, the music. So I really understand that it's truly for everybody. Maybe, and that's what we are doing now, working a lot on this data acculturation and AI acculturation, more because if the company wants to innovate, wants to bring value, more value to the business, maybe it's the way we have to do that.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and not the people are not with red carpet waiting for us to bring new ways of doing things.
Yeah. Yeah, so in your book there is a framework mentioned. I have it in front of me, and I'm going to try to read it in Portuguese. And I hope you can try to take us through that successful data literacy program that you described. So it's framework para criação de programa de fluência em dados e IA.
Perfect, Angelika.
Can you help us? So it's a framework, of course, with the building blocks, I believe, for to become successful in data literacy. So please.
So yes, this one. So it's the main steps that we have, and bringing this let's say clear vision of really how to start. I'm new in the use of data, so how can I start this process? So first, and you both know very well these steps, but we have to understand first the maturity of the company, and we have different levels of data maturity inside the company. We can have different areas with different maturities. It's not sometimes something that all the company has a low or a high maturity. So it's important to understand. Maybe we have key people to help us to build this program. After that, we start little. We don't start with the entire company. So we have, for example, I was running a program. We have more than 13,000 employees. We started with 48. So it's important because it's not a program to deploy to everyone from one day to another. Then we define the main capabilities and the main process that we have to work with. So if the company doesn't have AI, for example, we will not put AI as a training for the first step. So understanding data, understanding the process, understanding the governance, understanding data quality. Then in the end of this program, we test them again. We expect to have this literacy to be improved during this time.
Yeah.
And it's let's say it's a continuous cycle. You don't implement a program and then forget we are all literate and we can take decisions using data. No, people will be like to learn a new language. It's important to learn from one day to another.
Yeah, what I noticed in my approach is, which is by the way the same as yours, of course, is that it's not only you have this standard program building blocks that you can use, but the building blocks can vary between the groups of people, the departments that you are serving with the program. So yeah, it's a continuous monitoring, continuous tweaking, receiving feedback, and adjust the learning curve. Yeah, thanks, Priscilla. Great answer, Igor.
Yeah. So people who knows me knows that I'm big into storytelling, and I think nothing better than a good story to help people to understand like the importance of this. So could you share, if you can, of course, one success story from the book or that inspire you in writing the book that personally inspires you?
I can say that the health segment for me is my passion for this kind of work, because as I mentioned, I started with them, and all of us were learning on that time and how to bring this data to the hands of people dealing with, for example, urgent care. And we had to put this data on the hands of the managers of the urgent care. And on that time, I saw people looking to the service and looking to the data first they didn't have time to look to the data. It was just what came is what we do, and we learn how to work on this, let's say, crazy aspect of urgent care. But then we started to introduce to them the data. So they knew the patients that were coming, they knew the condition of the patients, they knew what were the right place to put the patient. So it was fantastic. And the other story that I have, I was in this company when COVID came. So you can imagine for a health service how it was. So to organize all the occupation of the hospitals, considering the situation. When the vaccine comes, we organize everything, looking to the data. So it took 4 years. When we see, it's a long time. 4 years to organize this data, to put people to look to the data, to decide. But then COVID came, and we saw that it made sense. Without data on that time, I don't know what could happen. So to me, the health segment is the...
Yeah. I believe we all three have this passion for healthcare, right? My first big project was in healthcare with the ambulance services, a Call to Balloon, the application that we won also a big prize with here in the Netherlands. Igor almost graduated as a doctor, isn't a doctor, but is an amazing guy in data science, but also very related to data science. You in your healthcare passion, and that's the common thread I can see between the three of us. So very nice.
Yep.
But of course, we still have one more question, I think.
Yeah. And also Priscila and I were from the same state in Brazil.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah. I mean, it's the best. It's the best state in Brazil. So yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and I have to visit.
I mean, that's for sure.
Yes, Angelika, please, you have to come.
It's the best. By the way, is the best food in the world. That's, I mean, there's no debate. That's a fact. There's no all the data backs it up.
The yellow package that you brought me, the peanut butter things. Yeah. Yes. It's finished already.
I brought paçoquinhas to her, Igor.
Yes. Oh, nice.
Okay. But okay. Let's close down. I think we have 2 questions left, right? So Igor, I will do 14 and you do 16, so we will skip one.
Absolutely.
But Priscila, I have an opinion about it because I see the world is changing so rapidly. But how do you see the role of data and AI literacy evolving over the next 5 years? 3 to 5 years, I think. It's more short. 3 to 5 years. How do you see the world changing in that? The role of data and analytics?
Yes, it's funny because I was in a lecture some weeks ago and someone asked it to the person who was on the lecture, and he said, it's impossible to predict, but I will try.
Yeah, I think so too, by the way, because we don't know where the world is going to.
Yes. And I believe on that, but I think that, as I mentioned, data and AI, of course, when I say data and AI, we know the amount of things that we have around these two words, but it probably will be more a core skill for most of, let's say, at least the business, almost all business that we have today. So AI more integrated to the daily work, and people understands all the risks, all the benefits, everything that comes together. A great challenge we have on that topic. But I believe that it's impossible to say, no, I will not use it. You are already using it. So it's more to have this capability of understand and deal with everything, because we cannot go back anymore.
No, I think we discussed it yesterday as well. I always use the example of my grandson, Dean. He's almost 4. and Dean is in his why phase. So he asks a lot of questions. Why this? Why that? Why should I do that? Why do I have to clean up my mess? Why? The why question is very important. And when children go to school and they ask too many why questions, they are troubles, right? Because the teacher doesn't have the time to answer all those why questions, and they actually put the mouth a little bit shut, right? Like, you don't ask too many questions. But in this era, it is mega important to ask the why question. So for me, that's fundamental point one, dot on the horizon. So yeah, we don't know where it's going, right, Igor?
Yeah, correct. And that's one thing that I want to bring up and ask my final question that you guys said is about it. It's here to stay. It's a reality. Data and AI, it's part of what we do, even if we don't work with data, or maybe especially if you don't work with data. And some people are scared about AI being replaced. So don't be replaceable. It's something, is a skill that regardless of what you do, it's something you need to learn, because it's around us. If you use social media, if you buy
Netflix,
online or
Amazon.
not, everything, it's everything. It's we're surrounded by data. And anyway, and so my final question is like, okay, knowing all of that and knowing everything that we discussed today, what is one first step that you recommend for our listeners to take it today, if they wanted to get started?
Read my book and read Angelika's book.
That's the perfect answer. Yeah.
Okay, good advice.
The links to purchase will be in the post of this episode, so you can guys go there and yes.
Okay, but don't wait for permission, and don't wait your company do something for you on these subjects, because we have a lot of material available. We have a lot of discussions happening, and as I talk to my students every day, it's good to discuss what we are doing, and because it's new for everyone. We know that that's a lot to do, mainly when we talk about the data quality and results we have from the AI. So start studying, start to understand what is happening in the market, try to be part of this movement. So don't wait for something to happen, and then it's not about changing the career. It's about to put a new, let's say, toolkit inside of your job. So
Exactly. Continuous learning. That's what it's all about.
yes.
Yeah.
Great. So
Well, thanks. Yeah. Great, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So to our listeners, the links links to the Angelika book is in every single episode. So you can buy it. Actually, I bought it, Angelika, and I bring into lunch because I want an autograph in person, and I'll buy yours as well, Priscila. And so I'll invite all of the listeners to read those books. It's a great. I know people are reading less.
You are in Lund, right? Sorry.
Say it again.
Priscila, you are going to Lund as well, right?
Yes.
So you can bring him one.
Yeah, of course.
No, I want to buy it. I want to have the privilege to buy it. Unless it doesn't deliver in the US, but otherwise I want to buy it.
Okay.
It's my way of supporting. So we learned that data and AI are just not technologies. They're here to stay. They're language that, if we spoke fluently, will allow us to question, understand, and act with confidence. Will make us better citizens as well. And so we hope this conversation has inspired everyone to take the next step, pick up the vocabulary, practice the grammar, and start speaking the language of data and AI in your own context. So thanks you both for being here today. Thanks everyone for listening. And as always, keep exploring. Ciao pessoal.
Tchau, pessoal.
Doei allemaal.
Voyagers.
Thank you.